this part we're going to talk about measuring resistance. So what I have here is this resistance in the spec sheet calls out that the measurement range goes from 200 ohms plus or minus 0.01 ohms, and it has a range in 2K, 20K, 200K, 2 meg, 20 mega ohms, and even a setting for higher. It's on the next sheet, I believe it's 200. Now, if you're not familiar with it, 200 ohms is the resistance. The one that says 2K, K is for kilo, that's for 1,000. So it's for 2,000 ohms, 20,000 ohms, 200,000 ohms. M is for mega ohms, which is 10 to the 6th power, which is a million, so it's 2 million ohms, 20 million ohms. So for this exercise, just have some fun. I pulled some resistors out of the box, and the box goes, this is going to try to duplicate the range of that resistance spec. Let's measure them, see how they turn out. Here's like a 10 ohm. I have this one marked as 100. That's a capacitor. This one, don't recall what that was. I believe that's 1K. This is a 1K. This is 330. Here's a 22K. Here's an 82K, 200K, 474K. We'll check the markings on this one again. This is a 4.7 meg and a 10 meg. So we're going to hit a little bit of all the different ranges. I should point the camera exactly where I'm pointing to too, rather than over there. So we've got a bunch of samples here. This is a 220 ohm. It's a pretty common size, so I'll put it back over here in order. Okay, so I've set the meter upright so that we can see it better. Okay, and I'm going to turn it to the ohms knob. Okay, and it says overload. And you'll see every digital voltmeter in the world say overload because there's nothing attached to the meter leads. So it says overload is bigger than it can read. So here I'm going to start with that little pile I was talking about. This is supposedly a 10 ohm resistor. And that's what the colors say it is. But what we're going to do is all you have to do is clip one end of the resistor and then clip the other end. And this is 10 ohms. Wow. And you can see the ohm marking here. So that's pretty good. That is a very small value. So I'm going to pop over. This is the 100 ohm. At least it's labeled 100 ohm. And the markings on it, the colors look like it's 100 ohm. So we're going to put the meter clip on there to see if it reads 100. Turn the backlight on again. And it reads 100.5, which is, that's awful darn good, because I suspect it is 100.5. Good. So we'll just keep going over the range. This one has the stripes on it, 2 reds and a brown. That's a 220. Let's see if it reads a 220. And it doesn't matter which end of the leads get on the resistor. 216, that's pretty darn good. It says, notice here it says 0.216 kilo ohms, which is the same thing as saying 216 ohms, because it went over that range in the spec sheet that says 200 ohms, so it shifted up to kilo ohms. Now I wonder if we can just change that range. No, it won't let us. There it goes. It goes to the 200 ohm range, and it says overload. So it's bigger than 200. Doggone it. Put that backlight back on. Okay. So now I accidentally selected the diode. Okay. So we've got a 216 ohm resistor. This is supposed to be 220, but that's okay. Pick up the next resistor. It's supposed to be a 330. And it says 0.3308, which is 330 ohms. Cool. The next one is 1K resistor. Clip it here, clip it here. .0011 kilo ohms. Dog, that's pretty darn good, and this is a precision resistor. Okay, so we're hitting the ranges. That looks great. This one's labeled 22K. Let's see if that's correct. This too is a precision resistor. I'll turn that back on so you can see 22.13K. Dog, doing good. Okay, let me move that a little closer. I'll pull another one out of the hat here that says 220K. Let's see how it does with 200K. And I'm going to clip it on the lead. And I have to clip it on the other side of that resistor. There she goes. 0.2204 kilo ohms. So this one is mislabeled. This is 474. Let's see what it says. See what it reads. It says 474K supposed to be. It says 0.4732 mega ohms. And between mega ohms and kilo ohms is 3 decimal places over here. So this is reading what was expected values. Very close to the accuracy as well. This one is supposedly a 4 meg. And it reads, actually it's supposed to be 4.7 megs, and that's exactly what it reads. 4.7 megs. And then we have a 10 mega ohm resistor right here. And I kind of pulled off the tape, so that's okay. I'll just grab it right here. 10.9. So this one's about 10% off. But something that big, I wouldn't be surprised. So actually, just very quickly, you learn how to use the voltmeter to measure resistance, and also we verified the whole range of what the meter can do nearly.